All right. All right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this Formula 3 race. This is round 11, and we're going to Japan on the famous Suzuka circuit in the Mie Prefecture. All right. So, qualifying has just started. Let's have a look. What's gonna happen? Um, Looks like nobody's on track just yet. Let me just tell you a little bit about the Formula 3 Championship. We have a very tight fight at the front, both in the driver standings and in the constructor standings, with Renault leading Williams by just 1 point, and in the driver standings we have Nick Payne with 87 points and Pody just 2 points down in 85 points. Looks like we're gonna see, very interesting. We're gonna see dry qualifying, but the race will be wet towards the end of the race. Let's see who's well prepared for this. What are people going to do? Qualify on the dries, on a dry setup, and then hope to be far enough ahead by the time it rains to not be affected, or risk it on a wet setup. And we have Jaribo already out. It's a pleasant day in Suzuka, 29 degrees C track temperature, 21 degrees, clear skies. Nick, our championship leader, is just going out of the pits. We got Pody, who will be hoping to overtake Nick today. He's only trailing by 2 points. RDO will be going out as well. Pedrich, he's in third, but let's not forget that he's only 20 points behind Nick. So if he'll be hoping that Nick and Pody get tangled up and then he can steal the race win. He could even be leading with the championship by the end of today. Mr. Grumpy. And Jaribo is just about to start the first flying lap of this session. We'll stay with him for a little bit. Nice and tight to this first couple of corners. It's always quite tricky in here to get it quite right. It's very easy to shoot off and go understeer and go into the curb on the left, but he's doing a pretty nice lap. A bit on the grass over there, don't affect him too much. Let's see how he does in this section. It's again a very tricky section. You don't want to be you don't want to be too unsettled when you go into the that chicane. It's very difficult to recover afterwards. Looks like he's coming up onto someone who's kind enough to let him pass. Nice and tidy so far. Keeping it tidy. Just about grabbing the apex. He's got some time to do some adjustments on his steering wheel just before 130R. This is it's very easy to lose the car over here. Just get a bit of It's very easy to lose the back wheels, and then you're off. And he does a 1:34.4, respectable time. We'll see where he comes in at the end of the qualifying session. Grumpy is on a lap. Who else? Ooh, Nick is already very fast. 2/10 up on Jaribo in the first sector. Wow, purple for Nick, and RDO does a lap 0.7 slower than Jaribo. Let's quickly try to jump on board with Nick. Where is he? He goes first, unsurprisingly, and he's on the mediums. It's very impressive, but it looks like there might be a little bit more time to be gained in that first sector. Let's see where Poddy is. What is he doing? Is he in the pits? Yeah, it doesn't look like he's on the track. He did go out. Oh, he's on an out lap, so it means that he went out and maybe went back in to change his tires. So far we got Poddy, who's just fractionally faster than Jaribo. Boy with no face is in 4th, Pedrich in 5th. Then we Pedrich in 4th, RDO in 5th, Kurto is in 6th, and Flying From in 7th. Grumpy just had his lap invalidated. What is Nick doing? Is he? No, he's not on another lap. Let's see who is. Boy with no face, he's 3rd. He'll want to improve a little bit. 34.9. Yeah, first sector is not very promising. What's Pedrich doing? Ooh, very slow first sector. Looks like he's really looking after his tires. Game Freaker just... Did he improve? He didn't. So what are people doing? Is Nick hoping to go on those mediums to the end of the dry part of the race, and then hop on directly onto the presumably intermediate? Am I looking too far ahead? Who knows? Who knows? A 33.8 would be enough for what? 4th place there? Azem. Alright, what's happening here? Who's on a fast lap? Grumpy isn't. You know me is just about to start. No. He bails out. How's Yarham doing? Bit slow. Where is he gonna come out? Possibly 7th, 8th? Yeah, sounds about right. Oh, was that... Oh, looks like Nick is doing what I've been saying. He'll probably try to keep those tires until it's time for intermediates. And Yarham just posted 6th fastest time on the mediums. Where is Poddy? Oh, did he just put a... Oh, and Poddy goes 5th fastest, I mean. That's not gonna help his championship ambitions, but we'll see. Race is won and lost on Sundays, not Saturdays. Ashley 6th again. Yarham's bumped down to 8th. And we got 8 minutes remaining. I wonder if any of the front runners will be coming out. Poddy is doing another fast lap. Where is he? Oh no. He's very slow. I don't think he's going for a lap. Hey gamer. Nice to see you in the comment section. Over from Formula 6, Carwold has probably binned it again and he's not quite happy. It's not very surprising, to be honest. Anyway, coming back to this race. What's happening on track? Is Game Freaker going for another lap? Looks like it. Can he improve? Does he want to improve? We'll see what he does at the end. Oh, he locks up majorly in there. That's not gonna help his tires. But he does. He goes for a fast lap. Let's see what he can do. Oh! Looks like I had a bit of a glitch there. He's already done his fast lap. But did he improve? I think I'm still glitched up. Anyway, never mind. What's happening? Curtois is going reasonably fast. 20 plus minutes. Yes, you're right, Nick. It looks like rain's gonna come in, but the track is quite. The track is gonna be quite. Is forecasted to be quite warm, so it might take a bit for it to go to intermediates. All right, what's Curtis doing? Can he get into the top 10? And oh, he goes 4th. That's an impressive lap by Curtis. Only 4/10 slower than Nick. Looks like we have a bit of a disagreement whether or not you can get to intermediates with softs, assuming that the rain starts as forecasted 20 minutes into the race. We shall see. We shall see. Five-minute mark we've just hit. So we have 5 minutes left of the qualifying, and as it stands, Nick is in first. Jaribo is just over 1/10 slower. Then we have Game Freaker, Boy with No Face, and Curtois all within half a second of the top step of the podium. What's happening? Wow! Brownie just pulled out a fast lap by. That's very nice indeed. But he's on the softs. That's. We'll see how that works out for him. Someone left. Pedrich left. Or is he still here? Brown preserving those tires. He'll need them at the beginning of the race. And Nick is out again on the soft tire. It looks like Nick probably thinks that the rain will come early enough that the soft tires will take him all the way to intermediates. What else is happening? Grumpy is on a fast lap. Pody, very fast first sector. Almost 3/10 down, faster than the fastest first sector. Very interesting to see what lap time will Pody pull out of his hat. It's probably going to be 1:33.7. And into the last section, he did put the right tire a bit on the grass, but it doesn't look like it's affecting him too much. He has his championship contender just in front of him. And Pody 1:33.4. And let's see if Nick has a response to that. No, looks like he's gonna have to write off this lap. Does he have time to do another lap? Will he even try to do another lap? He's third on mediums, so he should be fine. And we're reaching the last minute of the qualifying, and I think one of the last things to be decided is, will Nick go for another lap and try to put it on the top spot? He's got time. He's got time to do it again, but we'll see what strategy he's gonna adopt. Oh, will that invalidate his next lap? Nope, looks like he's going for it. And with 25 seconds on the clock, he crosses the start-finish line for the last time. Very well done. Hit the curbs on the exit. It looks like I have quite a bit of lag, so I'm not sure. Pody was the first one to put 3 purple sectors. Alright, let's see how Nick does. We've been kicked out of the telemetry. To be honest, at this point I can't really check whether or not he's doing too well, because I don't have any telemetry, but he's doing a very low fuel qualifying run. Alright, have fun racing, RDO. Alright, so will Nick pull this one out of the hat and do... Oh my god. Okay. Well, that was quite shocking. Alright, so it looks like Nick binned it at the entrance into the pits. Nick. Remember to put on those medium tires at the beginning of the race. No, don't go into the pits. Ah. Oh, was there a change in... So did Curtis overtake Nick as well? Well, he must have if he went P3. Alright, so we'll just wait for Ashley to retire. Still waiting for Ashley to retire. Okay. Looks like we have a bit of time for some random facts. The Suzuka... Oh, never mind. And the grid is Pody, Game Freaker, Brown, 91, Curtois, Nick Payne is in 5th, AMS 6th, Flying From, Yarham, Jaribo and Mr. Grumpy round up the top 10. Then we have Ashley, Boy with Nose Face, Pedrich and Ardio. Ijimo is in 15th. Then we have Yumi Won Kentucky and Rakarov rounding off the end of the... Alright, let's just... Let's just leave the session very quickly. And let's try to get in. Alright. And we're back in, hopefully, for the beginning of the race. Oh, and my car is still there. Oh dear. Alright, so let's round up the order once again. We got Pody, Game Freaker, Brown, Curtois, Nick Payne, AMS, Flying From, Yarham, Jaribo, Mr. Grumpy, Ashley, Boy with No Face, Pedrich, Ardio, Ijsimo, that'll be a difficult name to pronounce. And we have Yumi Won Kentucky and Rakarov at the end of the grid. Alright, let's just settle in with Pody to watch the beginning of the race. And Pody will be settling back into his grid spot at the top. And all this time you know Nick will have to wonder how will he get back, and he'll have to claw his way back to the top, or at least in front of Pody. He's starting 5th currently. All right, we're just waiting for. All right, and we have lights out, and away we go on this Formula 3 round 11 in Suzuka. Can Podi overtake Nick at the top of the championship order? Can Williams overtake Renault again at the top? And it looks like we have Game Freaker all over Podi. He overtook him briefly into the first corner, and looks like the order is still as it was at the beginning. Nick Payne is in 5th. And Game Freaker is trying everything to overtake Podi. It's not that easy to overtake on this track, but he'll definitely try. Oh, he's going around the out. No, he's not gonna manage it. But who's gonna come out? Yes, it's Game Freaker in front of Brown. Let's see very briefly what's happening further down. Nick is in a pretty stable 5th. Not much fighting going on. Oh, you know me one Kentucky? Did he just get lapped? Oh, this is very confusing. Anyway, let's see what's happening here. Yes, you know me got lapped. Not lapped, but overtaken by RDO. Well done to RDO for that. Let's go back at the front. Let's see what's happening with Podi. He's still keeping Game Freaker at bay. Looks like they're easing off from Brown in here. Brown can't quite keep up with them. What tires is everyone on? Is Nick the first on the mediums? I'd say will this gamble work for him, but he did try to go onto the softs, but it didn't quite work out for him. The order looks to be more or less the same as it was at the beginning. Very nice shot of the brakes hitting up there. Let's see if we can find any. Ooh, what's happening here? There we go. Boy with no face just overtook Pedrich. No, he overtook, yes, Pedrich. And RDO is back in front of You Know Me One Kentucky. These guys are having a nice fight at the back. And Podi is just keeping Game Freaker at bay. But Brown looks like he's not quite giving up. Ooh, is this DRS open? Game Freaker will try it around the inside, but doesn't quite have the speed to do it. But he's not quite giving up. Very nicely done from these chaps. Clean, fast, but fighting as hard as possible at the same time. Very much respect. Alright, what's Nick doing? He's looking to overtake Courtois. He desperately needs to make inroads here. He can't fall too far back, otherwise Podi will be overtaking him at the beginning of at the top of the championship standings. But it looks like Podi is just easing away from Game Freaker, or maybe he's just a bit of an illusion at this point in the lap. But it looks like he did gain a couple of tenths here and there, yes, but still well within DRS range. Let's see what Game Freaker can do. He wants to get as close as he can to the gearbox of Poddy and then just blast it down the inside in the DRS zone. Alright. Let's try it again. Ah, it's very close. Ah, and it looks like he made the move stick. Can he keep Poddy at bay? Yes, and Game Freaker, very well done. Clean move round the inside. It's not easy to overtake in there, but he's done it like a pro. Oh, and Poddy looks like he probably has a little bit more downforce in that Red Bull. It looks like in the corners he's just eating away the gap between him and Game Freaker. And yes, Nick looks like he overtook Curtois for 4th place. Those are vital points, you know, with the championship being as close as it is. He doesn't want to give an inch to Poddy. And likewise, you know, this is not just a fight between Poddy and Nick. It's also a fight between Renault and Williams. They're only 1 point separated in the championship. So and currently it's our top Williams is who is it? Yes, currently Renault is outscoring Williams. So you have Renault 4th, Williams 5th, Renault 6th, Williams 7th. Sorry, looks like I can't quite count. No, actually, oh, who is this? Curtois is going into the pits as Nick posts the fastest lap of the race. Ah, and it looks like the softs are not quite lasting as much as some like Poddy or Game Freaker would have liked. Poddy is very close to Game Freaker though. He didn't. It looks like he didn't manage to make a move in this in the DRS range on this lap. He's probably. He said earlier that he's running a. No, actually that was Nick. He might be running a wet setup, in which case he's probably running quite a bit more downforce than Game Freaker is, but that would be bad news for Game Freaker once the going gets tough and we get rain at the second half of this race. Alright, what's happening behind them? Oh, yes, no, shouldn't be that surprised. Nick, oh no, sorry, Brown did not pit. Nick just overtook him. It looks like those soft tires are quite giving up, and Nick is just hunting down Poddy and Game Freaker. AMS is fighting the Flying Froms for Force India, and Game Freaker pits, but Poddy didn't pit. Is this a mistake for him? Are his tires lasting so much longer? Looks like Nick on those medium tires are quite a bit. Is quite a bit faster at this point in the race than Poddy is. Those tires will probably be going off now. They've done 6 laps on them, plus a couple of laps in qualifying. That really shows on the tire. Let's see if we can see any. Yeah, we can see a little bit of graining on both tires. How's the rear tires doing? Decent. I think Poddy. I don't know if he will, but he should pit at the end of this lap. Put in another pair of softs maybe, and just try to undercut Nick. Alright, let's see what he's gonna do. Yeah, he's going into the pits. At this point, Nick is in a quite lonely first place. I think he was the top he was the top medium runner. Like flying from is staying out. They're trying to emulate probably Sergio Perez in the Force India, making his tires last much more than anyone else. But he's probably gonna want to pit now, because Pedric is all over him. Let's see where Pody came out. He's in 11th. It says here 3 point. Oh, he's 21 seconds behind Nick on the softs. Nick is on the mediums. Will Nick have to pit before the start of the rain? That's the real question now. Can Nick take his tires to it? Oh, and it's raining. We have rain. Depending on how fast the truck goes into intermediate territory, Nick will be smiling at that crash in qualifying, where he didn't quite manage to put a fast lap on his soft tires. Alright, well, was this quite quiet? Let's go through the list. We got Nick in first, Pedric, the other medium runner, in second. Then we have Flying From, who's kept, very crucially, he's kept his soft tires on. He hasn't pitted yet, so he's probably looking at just making the soft tires last until intermediate time. He might even put the intermediates on before anyone else. RDO is doing a similar strategy. He's done very well to start on the mediums, and now he's in fourth. And if everyone has to pit at the same time for intermediates, then he'll be smiling. His mustache will be curving up under that helmet. No much opposition from Flying From. His tires are much grippier than the worn out tires that Flying From is running. Then behind them we have Boy with No Face, who I think pitted for hard tires. I'm not sure I would have done that, but I don't know. I actually don't know what he started on. He might have started on the hard tires as well. You Know Me is on the mediums, presumably the same he started on. Then we have Ashley in the Manners on the mediums again. Game Freaker on the softs in 8th. Simo in the Manor again on the hards. Oh, who's that? Oh, Game Freaker is risking it. Risk it for a biscuit, as they say. Intermediates are going on. Who else? Where's Nick? What's he doing? No, Mr. Grumpy. Nick. Nick is still running on the mediums. I think he can afford to do this. He can afford to go a lap longer on the mediums, just so that he knows it's absolutely time for intermediates. Everyone else will be trying to make up that extra pit stop they did by going on the intermediates faster. You know, I mean, we'll see whose gamble pays up, but at this point, Nick is he's so far ahead. He's 12 seconds in front of Pedric in second. Oh, is that? Oh, he's only 8 seconds in front of Pedric. But where's? All right, let's see who's fighting for the win here. It's Nick at the front. Poddy has put on the mediums, the intermediates, but he's 45 seconds behind Nick. So dare I say that Nick has run away with this race. He's got almost 2 pit stops on Pody. Let's see if Pody is faster on the intermediates than Nick is on the mediums. Game Freaker about 2 seconds in front of Pody. At this point, Nick will be quite chuffed with the choice he's made, and he's just come out on the intermediates. Nobody in sight. Pedrich is second. Has he pitted? I can't quite see it. Yes, he's on the intermediates. As is Boy with No Face in third. As is Yumi Won Kentucky in fourth. Then Ashley is in fifth, and he's just getting hunted down by RDO in sixth. It'll be very interesting towards the end of the race because it looks like we've got quite a few people out of position. So we have people like RDO and Ashley who started in the lower half of the grid are now in fifth and sixth. So we'll see what happens if they can if they intervene in between Pody and Nick. Also Game Freaker, he'll want to get back on the podium points, but crucially now he's gonna have to overtake these people, whereby these are all people who didn't pit when Game Freaker and Pody did. So it's just it'll be interesting to see at the end of the race who's gonna win from this whole situation. So yeah, very interestingly, Rakarov, who started last, is now 9th, just because of the shuffle with the pit stop, and he's 9th on merit. So Game Freaker is in front of him, but crucially Pody will have to overtake him, and we'll see how well Pody's car is set up for the rain. I think it looks like Pody is losing time to Nick. Alright, let's just have a look. Whilst there's not much happening, let's have a look at who's pitted how many times. Yeah, it looks like first to sixth pitted just one time, whereas Game Freaker and Pody are the only two in the top 10 who pitted twice, and they won't be happy with this because they were first and second before the first round. Well, the first round of dry pit stops, which were only a couple of laps before the first wet pit stops. Okay, let's see, incidents. Warnings for Pody, 3 seconds for Yarham. Rakarov has got a 3-second penalty. Mr. Grumpy, Brown, RDO, Jaribo, Pedrich. It's quite a few penalties. I mean, this truck isn't great in terms of. Oh, Game Freaker has a 3-second penalty, so he means even though he's ahead of Pody at this moment on track here, then Pody would be ahead of him. Grumpy has quite a few. Yeah, he also DNF'd. So some more warnings for Unomi and Rakarov, Jaribo and Isimo. Nick is going very well. Not even a Not even a warning so far. I think Poddy has a warning from the first lap, probably from when he was fighting with Game Freaker. All right, let's have a look at what's happening. Pedric still in second, not really challenged here. Boy with no face. Who was that? 19 seconds behind Nick. You know me, 22 seconds. RDO is the first one. He's leading a small train there with Ashley and Game Freaker behind him. I think Game Freaker will be looking to overtake Ashley quite soon here. Rakarov in 8th. Oh, he'll be happy with that. Starting last. He's possibly looking at a couple of points here. If he can keep Poddy behind. Ooh, we have a bit of a battle here. And we have, who's that? Flying From overtaking, not Poddy, Ijsimo. And Ijsimo going back to overtake Flying From. Oh, these guys. Oh my god. There was a Williams there that didn't quite fare very well. There was Curtois. He's gonna want to get a move on it, because as it stands, Renault is kicking their ass in the Constructors Championship. Well, as it stands, they're only 1 point behind, but with Nick winning, and where's the second? I think Game Freaker is the second. No. Who's in the Williams? You have to. I'll have to apologize because I don't know the people here. Yes, Pedric is in second, so that's what 4 points lost here. So if Curtois, oh, what happened there? We had an accident there with Jaribo and AMS. But it might have been just self-inflicted. To be honest, I don't see much damage on his car. Let's just have a look and see. Front wing looks fine. Yeah, looks like he got away with that. But he's last. Well, if you don't count my car, which is still chugging around about there. Oh, this is a very nice angle. Too bad there's nobody to see in those mirrors. Alright. So it looks like the whole grid is a Renault sandwich with Nick at the top and AMS at the bottom. Yeah, it's just, you know, funny anecdotes. Pedric is doing well to keep up the Williams honor. So if the race finishes here, means Williams will be crucially 5 points behind Renault. Alright, Boy with No Face is doing well in 3rd. What happened, Maldovic? RDO is in 5th. Game Freaker, he overtook Ashley. Next one on the list is RDO. Yes, they're teammates, so you would think that RDO wouldn't give Game Freaker too much of a fight if it turned out that Game Freaker was faster than him, but at this point it doesn't look like he's terribly slower. So we'll see what happens there. Poddy's not making yes, thank you. Maldovic is commenting on the banana sandwich joke. I didn't actually say banana, but now I get it. It's funny. But crucially, Pod is in 9th and he's not making much. He's not making much progress. So this will give his fight for the title a really big blow. If he only gets 2 points here and Nick gets 25, he'll be 25 points behind Nick. So he'll want to salvage whatever he can from here. Actually, yeah, Poddy is falling behind. He's slower than who's in front of him? It's Rakarov. Let's see the last few. Rakarov did 150, 150, 150. Oh, that's very. Let's see what Poddy's been doing. Yeah, more or less. Oh, he was 2 seconds slower than Rakarov a couple of laps ago, and he's only marginally faster. So I don't see him making much. What happened? The Ferrari went wide there, Rakarov. So just when I was this is the commentator's curse, of course. Just when I was praising him for his consistency, he goes and puts it on the grass. Well, he didn't lose too much time, but Poddy will be hunting him down now. He'll have seen that going the point where he went wide, and he'll be thinking to himself, yes, I can take this guy, I can overtake him. But quite crucially, maybe Rakarov isn't the biggest of his worries, because Flying Frome is catching up. Brown is not too far behind either. But yeah, Poddy, instead of being able to concentrate on what's ahead of him, he might have to defend quite soon. Let's see what the lap times are between these two. Similar, but Flying Frome has been a couple of tenths. Oh, that's why. Last lap, Poddy was about 1 second slower than Flying Frome. So, his championship fight is not looking good at this point. But it's only 25 points, so it only takes Nick missing or crashing out of a race and not scoring any points for Poddy to make it equal once again. But any points not gained are points lost. At this point in the championship, with what do we have, 5 races to go. That's including Japan, so 4 races without this one. Making up 25 points is not an easy task, but we'll see. If anyone can do it, it's Poddy. He's very fast. I actually raced with him in Formula 5, where he's just decimating the competition. But Nick is giving him a run for his money. Alright, let's see what Nick is doing. He's doing well at the front. Yeah. Nothing much to say, Water is wet. The track is wet as well. Nick's just chugging the miles lonely at the front. Is Pedric catching up? Ooh, there'll be a 140. Yes, Pedric is catching up. So all those doom and gloom I've been speaking about in the Constructors' Championship, we might actually see Williams overtake Renault if Pedric can overtake Nick. And with 10 laps to go, anything can happen. He's only 6 seconds behind, and last couple of laps, he's been a good second or half a second thereabouts faster than Nick, and he's very consistent. His last was that 2, 4, 6, 8 laps, all within half a second of each other. What you got a 48.3, 48.2, 48.4, 48.6, 48.6, 48.3. So those intermediates are definitely not falling off, but Nick is not. He's not as consistent. So tune in for the end of the race, people. We might have a race on our hands. No, let's just run through the standings. Oh no! No! Bloody penalties. Ugi Azim, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, has just informed me that Pedric has 2 penalties. Let's see. I always dislike when penalties come into sorry, I'm just losing words here. Yeah, I always dislike it when races are decided by penalties rather than on track action. But again, running without penalties is a skill in itself. So just because you can cut every corner doesn't mean that you get to win a race, especially against someone who... Oh, Nick has a warning as well. Things are not looking well for Pedric. He's got 2 penalties and a warning. Ah well, we'll see. I mean, he can still... all he has to do is keep 6 seconds in front of Nick, but I don't think that's gonna happen because he's not been making up too much time. Actually, it's been quite constant for the past couple of laps. So anyway, so we got Nick running in first, Pedric in second, 6 seconds behind, but with 6-second penalties. Can he run 12 seconds faster than Nick in the next what's that, 8 laps? It's gonna be a tricky one. Boy with no face is in fourth. Game Freaker Boy with no face is in third, and he's got Game Freaker some, what's that, 6 seconds behind him. Looks like RDO let Game Freaker go through. That's always, it's good to see teammates work like that, especially if Game Freaker showed at the beginning of the race that he's got the capability to go and maybe get a podium out of this, and it's not yet. It's not unlikely that he'll be able to do that. Oh, RDO is not taking the ideal line there, but I think he got away with it. Ashley, the little manner who could, is running in sixth, chasing down RDO. Will he be able to make a move before the end of the race? Rakarov, this must be the it's probably the best recovery in the race. He's running 7th, having started probably 17th or something like that. And Game Freaker is in. Is he gonna go for wets? No, it looks like he took another round of intermediates. So it looks like it's not quite time for wets, but the intermediates are wearing off. But it's because in the qualifying prediction it said that it would get into heavy rain towards the end of the race. So is Game Freaker making a mistake again by putting on another set of intermediates when he might have to put the wets on at the end of the race? We'll see. We'll see if his bet goes through. Let's see what has Nick pitted again. He has not. You know me, boy with no face, and Brown have pitted again. Boy with no face went for the wets. We'll have to see. I have no clue of how wet it is there, but it is raining pretty. The weather is quite gnarly. So let's see what Pedrich is doing. He's going for wets, so it looks like it's time for wets. What happened there? Why did Game Freaker go for another set of intermediates when everyone else is going for wets? Did he make a mistake? I mean, I've seen last round in Formula 5. I can't remember who, but someone accidentally put another set of dry tires when it was time for wets, or at least intermediates. So I don't know. I don't have a very good feeling about this. Game Freaker is back to 4th, and he'll do well to stay there, but I wonder if it's wet tire time. Poddy's on the wet tires as well. RDO still running onto the intermediates, and Rakarov is in 6th on the intermediates. But it's looking pretty wet. To be honest, it looks like it's time for extreme wets. Yeah, it looks like it's the car is quite difficult to control. Just having a look from Rakarov's perspective. But he might risk it. I mean, coming from last, he might risk going to the end on the intermediates. Depends how wet the track becomes. Flying From is in 8th on the wets. Ashley is looking to overtake him on the wets as well. Curtois is running in 10th on the intermediates. Then we have Boy with No Face again, intermediates. Oh, let's see, this is gonna be interesting. If Boy with No Face, who's that? Actually, yeah, if Jaribo can overtake Poddy, who's on the wets, and Jaribo is on the intermediates, it means it's not quite time for wets, but I guess Poddy did have to do something there to try to make up some ground towards Nick. But it looks like there's better traction with the intermediates. He'll struggle to see though. He'll struggle to see with all that tail kicked out by Poddy's car. So it doesn't look like there's a huge amount of difference between wet tires and intermediates, but let's just check if Jaribo pitted again. Yes, he did. So it looks like he's got fresh intermediates. And they're not any slower than the fresh wets on Poddy's car. And Boy with No Face retired. Oh, we had 2 retirements where Nick has pitted for the wets, but I'm afraid here we might actually it'll be quite good if we get a safety car just to bunch up everyone with a few laps to go, and then let's see who can push in these wet conditions. Looks like Igisimo doesn't quite like the wet conditions. He's retired. Oh, I hope that the broadcast is still going through. Oh, I just got a prompt that the internet connection is quite bad. We have an interesting race, so I hope that you are able to see it. I'll just have to check. If anyone's listening, let me know what the quality of the stream is. Alright, yeah, I just checked and it seems fine to me. But yeah, thank you for confirming that. Game Freaker is still running in 4th on the intermediates. Let's see what his lap times are, crucially, compared to someone like Poddy. No, it doesn't look like his lap times have dropped at all. He's still running in 1:48, and Nick is running 1:52. I wonder. Yes, I don't think it's quite wet tire weather. It looks like Game Freaker is very fast. He's a couple of laps. He's a couple of seconds per lap faster than Nick. So it looks like Nick doesn't quite have this in the bag. He's 17 laps. He's 17 seconds with 4-ish laps to go. I think it'll be a small miracle for Game Freaker to overtake. You know me as well, he's running very well. He's only 12 seconds. Pedrich is 5 seconds. Yes, I agree, Maldovic. Intermediates looks like they're much faster. But I think maybe people who changed to the wets were betting on them being... We're betting on the conditions going, turning for the worse. And Yarham retired. What happened there? Let's see if we can see anything. Poddy's struggling. Alright, so with 3 laps to go, the order is Nick in 1st, then we have Pedrich in 2nd, Yunomi in 3rd, taking off huge chunks of time between him and the top 2 each lap. But will it be enough, or will it be too little, too late? He's got 10.5 seconds to make up. Game Freaker took out some just under 3 seconds in the last lap or so, but it's still he's still not enough, I think. RDO running a lonely 5th, then Rakarov in 6th. I keep talking about Rakarov because he started last and he's 6th, so, and with not too many retirements. Because as we see, Poddy is in 11th or 12th right now. So yeah, we have Brown in 7th. Kurto is in 8th. We have Ashley just overtaking Jaribo for 9th. And Jaribo is in 10th. We have Flying From, a fairly lonely 11th. We have AMS in 12th. Poddy is really struggling. He's lost another position to the Renault of AMS. He won't be happy with this race. going first to last. It's not nice. It's not nice. My car is still going strong. Yeah. Pedric, he's actually nipping away at the gap from Nick. So I think it's quite slowly. Unomi took another 2 seconds, but he's still not close enough to be a threat to Nick. Game Freaker as well took about 1.5 seconds. Rakarov in 5th. What happened? Did he overtake Brown? Did he make a mistake? I think he must have, because he's quite a bit behind Rakarov. So Rakarov is in top. Was that what? Towards the end of the race, people are quite spread apart, and there's not much inroad being made. Oh, AMS is back in 10th. That's incredible. Did people pit? What happened? I can't see any collision warning. Oh, Game Freaker took. Oh my god, there's so many penalties. I can't be bothered. Rakarov has something crazy like 12-second penalties. Let's see if. I don't know. We'll have to. It's too many to count. We'll have to just wait to the end of the race to see who's made inroads with the AMF is back to 12. I think maybe I'm having a bit of lag, because I just saw AMS in 10th like 30 seconds ago. Pody in 13th. It's quite a sad sight. He was hoping with his pole position to overtake Nick at the top of the driver's table, but it looks like instead of that, the gap will increase quite significantly. I don't think he's in any. Who's it? Pedric. Pedric will be only what? Oh, sorry, no. Pardon me. I've been making calculations with a 25-second point system in mind. But yeah, anyway, the Rakarov, Pedric will be. Oh, and whilst I was doing that, the winner of this race is Nick Payne. He did very well to extend his mediums in the first stint, and he was very fast on the intermediates. Then he put the wets on, crucially, which were not quite the best tire to be on, but I think with the weather worsening, it was a decent bet to be. Rakarov comes home in 6th. He'll be very happy with that. Brown, what happened there? In 7th. Then Kurto is in 8th. Jaribo is coming in to take 9th, and Ashley will take his manor to the last point scoring position. Looks like. Oh, look at Ashley overtook. Yeah, he overtook Jaribo by penalties, and penalties galore we have. Very well done, Nick. Very well done. No penalties. Pedric in 2nd. Sergio Gomez, which I think is I forget. Anyway, Game Freaker is in 4th, RDO is in 5th, Rakarov in 6th, starting from 17th. Very well done to him. Carlos Sainz, I can't remember who that was. Kurtos is in 8th, Ashley is in 9th, Jaribo in 10th, AMS is in 11th. And then we had, if I remember right, we had AMS and then Podi last place. All right, we'll just invite our top 3, which are Nick, Podi, and who was it? It showed yes, you know me in 3rd, so I shall invite them into the party. All right, so we're inviting Nick. Who was sent again? It was Pedrich, whom I don't think I have him as a friend, so I'll just have to leave Nick to invite him, and then you know me should be in my friends list. Or not. All right. I think it was Game Freaker behind him, so. All right. We have Nick, and hopefully we'll have Pedrich, you know me, and Game Freaker.
Oh, that was a tough race.
Oh yeah, it did look like you had to battle to get that race win. But welcome, you know me. Congratulations on that podium.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You know me, mate. Is that what?
All right.
Um, and I actually went with my own strategy because I've been struggling with strategy over the past races, I think it was, because of engineers just giving me rubbish strategies, basically. I stuck with my own strategy this weekend, and yeah, it paid off.
All
Because
right.
with last weekend, I was running.
All right. We're just waiting to see if Pedrich and or Game Freaker will be joining. Yeah, I think Ardio was fifth, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. A race, Pedrick was gaining on me slightly every lap, but I knew that the gap was big enough that I could sort of keep myself comfortable without having to worry about an attack from Pedrick. I also knew he had penalties as well, so I was just trying to bring the car home really.
Yeah, Pedric had 6 seconds in the end, so he was nowhere near close enough to you. But I just wanted to ask, did you give up that soft run in the qualifying? Did you give it up because you wanted
Yeah,
to
no,
start on the mediums, or did you make a mistake somewhere?
it was a bluff. I was bluffing. I thought, right, I'll go out for a soft run, see if anyone's gonna. Like, I was mostly for Pedrick to try and get Pedrick to do a soft run, and on my final, on the when I was on the final corner, I dived into the pits, but obviously it went wrong. Went into the pit wall.
Welcome, Ardio.
Hello?
All right, no, that worked out quite well for you, and also I think it was quite unlucky for people like Poddy and Game Freaker that their
I'm
tires.
Pedrick.
Wasn't Pedric on wasn't he on mediums on the first stint?
Aye, yeah, he was on
Yeah.
mediums in the first.
Yeah, so you lot were lucky that the soft runners the softs gave up just a couple of laps before it was time for
Yeah.
inters. But yeah, no, very well done. At the end there, you must have been sweating a little bit with which Pedric nipping on your heel. And also, I don't know if you know, but there were me and who was that?
Game Freaker.
Yeah, and Game Freaker, they were taking up chunks of
Yeah, no,
chunks
I
of
noticed
time
that.
every lap.
Aye, I noticed that. But whatever, I just basically tried to mirror what Pedrick was doing. I knew he was my biggest rival in the race. So
Yeah,
he went in for wets, and I just didn't want to risk it. So I was just like, just mirror what he's doing, going for wets, and
yeah,
it worked out in the end anyway.
yeah. No, it worked out for you. And also, Poddy came out in 13th. Yeah, so what, by my calculation, 16 plus 2 is 18 points ahead of him. And yeah, I can't remember. Yeah, AMS did. He was 11th or 12th. Yeah. So now the gap in the constructors is just 2 points. Yeah, but yeah.
Trick. So I
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you noticed, but Rakarov did a massive comeback. He started in 17th and finished 6th.
Oh really?
yeah. To be honest, he was following every car I'd made space for him overtaking.
Yeah.
He was doing a bit of a Max Verstappen and Vettel in Monaco.
Indeed, yeah. That was I'm sure there have been others who have benefited by that first stint going very short for the soft runners, but he was the one that really caught my eye. And Ardio, you and Game Freaker, you were gaining on the last stint. Did you expect the intermediates to be so much faster, or was it just pure luck? All right, fair enough.
You've already said the softs, and it was just unfortunate for the softs and the hards because they were just fractions off target, but the mediums were just literally on point. I was following RDO in the very first stint. Basically, yeah, everyone he overtook, I was following through. But Simo, I think his name is, dive bombed me at the hairpin, and yeah, we went off the track. But I got back onto it, and yeah, when the rain came, I was like, this is just a perfect opportunity because the softs are struggling. The hards, they were okay-ish, but they were slow in the first stint when it was dry, so they weren't really making up much pace. But all credit to Boy with No Face though, he was making up some places on the hards. But yeah, the mediums, they were just perfect of wear just at the right point.
Yeah.
Yeah, Josh had a crash with Pedrick as well, though.
Oh, did they?
He was sort of ahead of me by about 5 seconds, and then had a crash with Pedrick, and he was somewhere on the far side of turn 1. So yeah.
When I saw yellow flags in, I think it was somewhere near sector 1 or something, I was kind of hoping for a safety car. Would have benefited from the strategy.
It wasn't a safety car, but I think there was actually a lack of incidents. There was only, I think everyone finished apart from one person.
Yeah, but right at the end, the last few laps I think it was lap 22 when I think Boy with No Face and someone else, and I think Yarham and Mr. Grumpy, they all retired round about that point. And I was like, oh, how interesting would it be if we got a safety car at this point? It's probably gonna run a few laps, and then with 2 laps to go, everyone hunting down each other. Alas, it didn't come.
Well, if we had the safety car, then I would have been definitely very lucky.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, myself, Adio, Game Freaker were taking chunks out of the wet tyres. So, if we did have a safety car, I think Game Freaker would have definitely battling me. I don't know. It could, it's all down. You never know really, because Game Freaker could have been battling me, and I could have lost time to Nick and Pedrick. So.
Yeah, and also it's possible that Nick and Pedrick would have pitted for intermediates as well.
Yeah, but then again, they would have lost their position to me and Game Freaker.
They would have came out just ahead of him probably.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's true. That's true. So yeah.
But it would have been. I was hoping for a safety car. Would have been nice to battle.
I think that's a bit of a problem on this game, how it takes too long before the switch between intermediates and wets. It's just most of the time it's not worth switching.
Yep. That's what I'm thinking of.
The whole race, basically, it seemed to be getting wetter, but the racing line.
Drive for wets.
I only went in just to cover off. I mean, my original option was intermediates, and then I just got round 130R, and I was just like, nah, I'm gonna just go for intermediates.
Oh, the inters, the last stint, inters in 130R, like you had just so much grip. There's so much grip through there. So I don't know what you felt like with the wets, but inters were perfect.
Before I came in for the wets, I didn't feel any loss in grip. I felt the grip was just getting better and better. So when I came in for the wets, the grip, I don't know if that was just a track evolving or if it was just a bad tyre choice, but at the end of the day, the job is done.
It's a bit of a weird one because it did say it was heavy rain, but I saw no standard water on the drive on the racing line, so I went for the inters, and even when I was off the racing line, I think I went round the outside of Brown Lane just before the start finish on just so many puddles. I still had so much. So it's a bit of a weird one with the game, really, having the call for the hits and the wets, and I've struggled with that the last 3 races, but I got it right this time, so I'm happy with that.
I think the only really bad one was after the hairpin, but before Spoon. That corner, literally, I was just sliding around it every time.
Aye, the corner leading up to Spoon was very tricky.
Yeah. Not really a corner normally, just like a straight most of the time, but damn well, I think.
Anyway, I'm going to shut off, right?
Yeah, I think it's about time we end this. Well done to Nick for the win, and the others who ended up on the podium, and also people who got who did very well. There were some people who did some very good strategy choices, and very unlucky for Pody to go from 1st to 13th. But you know, swings and roundabouts, as they say. So we'll leave you, and
Flav, can I just say thanks for commentating tonight, mate? I know it was very short notice, but I do appreciate that. Thank you.
you're welcome.
Yeah,
you're welcome. All right.
All of it on behalf of all of F3, we're grateful. Thank you for attending.
Right. Thank you for the good race, and I'll see you next week for Canada. See you.
See ya.
Well done.